Both Alfred and the Joker die. That's some pretty heavy stuff. I decided to do the spoiler-filled review because in my first review I did a lot of beating around the bush, and I have plenty more to say, so let's get started. The thing that surprised me the most, without question, is that the Man of Steel enters the picture. And just for future reference, I'm going to say the Man of Steel because I have a really hard time for some reason on camera saying Superman without saying it super slow. S's, they kill me. So yeah, the Man of Steel comes into the picture and I was like, is that really necessary? I mean, maybe I'm just ignorant because I haven't read the book, but is he like a big part of the story, or are they just doing this for fans? Seems to me the focus would be more on Batman and not him, so why introduce him into the mix if he's not going to be more than just a cameo? And for the first half, it really is just a cameo. He is gone the entire second act and then comes back in the third act only to be shit-faced pummeled by Batman. And we will get to that in a second, so hold your horses. I guess what my problem is I don't understand why they didn't just introduce him in part 1 and then just bring him back in part 2, because in part 2 he's really just a watered down side character. So that's the Man of Steel. Moving on. Now as for the Joker, there's one thing that didn't make sense to me. There's this bit during their fight, okay? And Joker, I forget how, but he basically gets a chunk of glass through the eye. I believe it's this eye. We all know the guy's a nutcase and has taken abuse before, but at the same time it's like, dude, you have glass in your eye. You should be either rolling on the floor, wailing in pain with blood dripping down your face, or just be dead. I get that it's a cartoon, alright, but certain basic principles still apply. I also don't think he would have killed himself, because honestly, he could have done that ages ago. It felt like it was done then because that's when the story demanded it. Also, if you recall back to that film, Batman Beyond, Return of the Joker, Batman, or actually Bruce Wayne technically, actually confesses to killing the Joker himself. Now, I'm not aware of the people behind these animated films actually give a shit about continuity, but if you ask me, that is a pretty significant detail. And now, on to the grand finale. Literally. Batman going against the Man of Steel in this film reminded me a lot of when old Bruce Wayne put on that mech suit to kick Ink's ass. You remember Ink, right? Great villain. Now the fight itself between these two is badass, but a couple things bugged me. The first is that all of a sudden, and out of the blue, there's this kryptonite arrow that was designed without our knowing that is used during this fight at the end of it to stop the Man of Steel. It's a twist that could have worked a lot better had there been some build-up, some hints to what, you know, this thing actually was and that it was actually being built, and that way when we saw it you were like, that's it. And then there's the issue with this Oliver guy who shows up out of the blue at the end final battle because I guess he needs to be there. I mean, he's been hinted at in the part 1 and again in part 2, and then all of a sudden he's just there. And so he's not a real character, he's just there for a cameo and we don't know jack shit about him, so why is he there? A lot of things were just bum rushed, and I felt like more time needed to be spent with Batman and Robin and their journey and convincing everyone to join forces and work together. Because when they're rallying the troops on their horses, which it looked kind of ridiculous, I have to say, but when they're rallying up the troops, 99% of everyone just says, yeah! I doubt that would have happened. And I think had the whole Man of Steel side plot been cut out entirely, it would have been better. But you know what? Despite all this bitching and whining, I do still love this movie. It is a great movie. I thoroughly enjoyed watching it. I am, as I said, definitely going to buy it someday. And my grade remains 4.5 out of 5 stars. It's just those things got on my nerves and I had to speak my mind. So thank you for your time if you have made it this far, and have an awesome day. Batman out.